Hey guys, what's going on? This is the first video of the left-handed barber. So this is a new channel that I'm starting because I am a licensed barber in multiple states, and sometimes I do it from time to time, to make a living. So I just wanted to start talking about things that I think work for the industry and not so much. Okay, so I wanted to start off with one of the biggest products out right now, which is the TPOB Play. Okay, so I just ordered the TPOB Play. As you can see, I got the original design. He's got some where you can order from his website. He's got like all different colors and stuff like that, which I think is really cool. I think it's really cool that TPOB offers so many different color varieties and whatnot. Okay, so I just want to let you guys know, although I am a barber and I cut hair, I have not cut with these yet. Okay, so this is essentially a video where I'm giving off my first impressions of it just straight out of the box. Haven't used them yet. Okay, so I want to go over the pros first, right? Let's go over the pros of my first impressions of seeing this TPOB play. Okay. All right. So one of the biggest things is the packaging. Okay. The packaging, I think, from TPOB is just always spot on. I think it's really nice packaging. I love the colors. I love the quality of the box. He never disappoints, honestly, when it comes to the packaging. I love his art on that comes with him. Honestly, man, it gives me Rick and Morty vibes, to be honest with you, and I love Rick and Morty. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is TPOB's personal art. Like, apparently he's done this art himself, from what I hear. And it's really cool. I like the fact that he puts it on all of his boxes. So packaging is really, really good. Even the inside, can't complain. Obviously, I have the device right there along with the charging base and stuff. But as you can see, there's more art right there. Just really nice packaging. Nothing to complain about when it comes to the packaging. So I would say a 10 out of 10 for the packaging, right? Okay. Now let's talk about the clipper itself, right? The meat and potatoes. So first impressions is when you hold the TPOB play, it feels like quality. Okay, when you hold this, it's like, wow, this is really good quality, and for the price of it's on sale right now, I think for $95, I think it was, which is one of the reasons I got it. This is the lowest price I've seen it at. And I was like, man, probably won't be that low too much longer. And I've kind of been wanting it, so let me just go ahead and get it. So the quality of the clipper, when you feel it, it feels really good. I really like this down here. I really don't hold my clippers too much down there, so I could feel it like in these two little fingers here, but other than that, you really don't get to feel that too much. I don't cut hair like this and stuff, so I kind of, where the thumb is supposed to be is typically where I'm at. Okay, now the other thing that I notice is the when you turn it on, right, it's very quiet. So that's first gear, or excuse me, that was second gear. So that's first gear, second gear, but very quiet, So I think that's really cool. And then I noticed the clicks, the click lever. Okay, so nice clicks. So quality wise, I think, immediate that impression, you just notice that immediately, right? And then I am familiar with the XO blade. It says XO play, but I don't know if the XO play blade is any different from the XO blade. I think he just slaps the name play on there. You know, love the blade. It cuts very well. Haven't had any issues with it. I love the fact that he has added the XO blade to the Yeti, because that was a lot of people's main complaint about the Yeti, is that it was a great motor, great frame and stuff, but people did not like the blade and it didn't cut very well. So apparently he replaced that with the XO blade. I just recently got one of the Yetis and I love it. I'm not crazy about the charging base, but we'll talk about that in another video, because we're talking about the play right now. Okay. So, yeah, man, I like the grooves in the back. These grooves right here are really nice. Okay. That feels really good. And it doesn't weigh a lot. One thing I noticed about the Yeti is that, my first impressions were, wow, this is kind of heavy, when I was cutting with it and stuff. But this play so far, even, when I turn the motor on, it's not heavy. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel like I'm talking too much about the Yeti because this isn't a Yeti video, but I'm not complaining about the Yeti because that 10,000 RPMs is a fantastic motor. Love it. Takes shit right off. So I'm not complaining about the Yeti. I'm just saying I noticed it was heavy, but that's just something to get used to. Okay. But anyway, I love the lightweight of this. Okay. So I would say, again, because I haven't cut with it yet, so far that's all the pros. And then of course it's cool that you could swap out the colors and things like that. Okay. So now I want to get into the cons, and for me, the cons are kind of a big deal. Okay. Now I'm gonna say this. Even though there's a couple of cons with this, which to me are kind of a big deal, it kind of affects me in a bad way going forward with these clippers. I don't think I'm going to return them, although I did after tax. I spent $100 on these. I could use $100 back, but I really like the Pissed Off Barber. And I really like his products. And, even though I'm not crazy about the cons that I'm about to name on this clipper, I think I'm just going to go ahead and keep it, try to see if I can get used to it. And, just to support the brand. I think that the Pissed Off Barber is offering people a lot of quality for the cheapest price. He's cheaper than Stylecraft, Andis, Wall, Babyliss, and, he doesn't have to be, guys. At any point, he can take his prices just right up to theirs, and justifiably, he could do that. But I think, although he's a businessman, he's looking to make a profit. I think he's not too greedy. Therefore, he's allowing us to save some money while he's still making a profit. And I really appreciate that. So I think even though I'm not too crazy about the cons that I'm about to name on this clipper, I'm going to just go ahead and keep it. I'm not going to return it. Okay. So that's out of respect for the Pissed Off Barber if he ever sees this. Okay. Now the cons. For me, again, being the left-handed barber, these are pretty big. Okay. So again, I'm left-handed. Okay. So, I've grown up my whole life, having to use clippers that have a lever, on the left. Right. However, with a lot of these new, clippers that are coming out, the levers are becoming, how do I put it? They're becoming more extravagant and different. And because of that, I didn't have to deal with it too much before, but I'm starting to notice with a lot of the new levers, they come all the way to the back pretty far. Okay. And when that happens, because I'm left-handed in my, where my hand sits is on the same side as the lever, when it comes to holding the clipper, right? When it comes to holding it, I have to hold it, like around that lever. So when the lever comes really far down, as it does, here, I'll bring it up closer. Here, let's see if I can bring this up closer. So you see that lever comes back pretty far, okay? The finger grooves are just right here, and, it comes back pretty far. So I have to hold it, like that. So as you can see right now, that lever it comes out pretty far, so it's really in my way. And I could feel that, when when I turn it on and I'm like kind of, giving off the impression like I'm cutting hair with the lever all the way back like that, I can kind of feel like, this kind of might be in my way a little bit, it's something I'll probably have to get used to. I mean, I've had worse. I've experienced worse. I've experienced one that came back so far that when I try to hold it and cut hair, the lever will just, it'll get pushed back into a different level. Now, luckily, I'm not experiencing that with this one so far, so I think I should be fine. But, it is a little uncomfortable for me. So it would be nice, and this is for the pissed off barber again, if he ever watches this video, as a left-handed barber, I would like to see moving forward a lot of these companies with all the future clippers that they release, if they were to have the option to switch the lever to the right side of the clipper. That way, individuals like myself, you don't have to change the design of the lever, but individuals like myself, if that tends to be in the way or a problem, I can just unscrew it, place it on the right side of the clipper, and now I get to experience what right-handed barbers get to experience with this clipper. Because, mostly everybody says it's great and it feels amazing, but most of those people are right-handed. I'm left-handed, and, to me, I can't say that it feels the best. He has other clippers that aren't as expensive as these, the Pissed Off Barber, such as, the Slime 2, the Candy, the Yeti. They're designed very similar to like wall clippers, and their levers do not go back as far. Honestly, I can hardly even notice the levers. They're so comfortable. So he has other clippers that are very comfortable for me, but the play, unfortunately for me, is not one of those. That was one of the main things I noticed when holding this clipper. I was like, man, that lever is really in my way of comfortably holding this clipper. Okay, so that kind of sucked. Now, another con that I did kind of notice with this clipper a little bit, at moments when I'm holding it, it's almost a little too small, like, I don't know. It's like, I'm the kind of guy, guys, like when I go and I try to get like a firearm, I'm the kind of guy where I like a full size. I like a full size firearm. I want to have a handle that my hand can grip very comfortably, maybe even have a little bit, left and stuff. I like to have a good control over the firearm, especially because I'm anticipating that recoil. And in order to really absorb that recoil, I need a good, hand grip, right? So I remember one time I grabbed a compact firearm, and the hand grip was so small that my pinky had nothing to grip around. So when I was like, man, when I'm going to anticipate that recoil, I'm not going to be able to really absorb that, man. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold on to this firearm, as well as I can a full size. So I never really liked compact firearms. And that's kind of what this play reminds me of. It's almost a little too small to the point to where it's like, I feel like, at any point, am I going to accidentally drop it? Because, it's like, it doesn't go down as far as other clippers and stuff. It's a little small, plus this part right here is very skinny, so, I mean, I don't mind it, but it's just something I noticed. I'm like, man, this kind of small, like when I hold it in my hands. And I think design wise, the Pissed Off Barber was going for something that was going to compete with the Instinct, because if you guys don't know, at least, and I'm going based off of the knowledge that I have and what I think took place. When the Pissed Off Barber first came out, he came out with some really good replicas of the Stylecraft Instincts. The Pissed Off Barber called them the Goblins, right? Heard nothing but good things about the Goblins. However, he had to stop selling them because I think that, he got hit with some kind of lawsuit or something like that, saying that he was stealing their design, and I guess they had, like copyrights or I don't know, trademarks over it or whatever. So I think that the TPOB play is a different design, but somewhat close to the Instinct as far as size goes, so it can kind of compete with that. So it can give people the option of, hey, you want something cheaper that feels like a, Instinct, get my play. And I get that. That's awesome, but and that's the thing. I've never had an Instinct myself. I never got a chance to use his goblins, so I never really got to feel how the clipper felt in the hand. But yeah, man, this is small. This is small, and I'm a big guy. Well, I'm a semi-big guy. I'm, 5'10", about 300 pounds. So yeah, I got fat fingers, so I definitely noticed how tiny and compact it is. But it's not too bad. Okay. And then the last thing, and this con is it's not huge, but it's just something that I noticed. So two things. I noticed when I unpacked it, if you look at one of those bolts there, you can see, if you look at one of those bolts there, you can see that one of them's kind of scratched up. Looks like the one on the, I want to say left? No, right. The one on the right is kind of scratched up. So, this is supposed to be a brand new clipper. I don't know why I got a bolt that's so scratched up. Maybe it was something that happened in manufacturing. Plus, what kind of might explain the bolt is the last con that I noticed is, I really like my stuff to come out the box perfect. I feel like I really should not have to adjust anything with a brand new clipper trimmer straight out the box. But I did kind of notice that the blade has a significant amount of room, so it does need to be adjusted. Not zero gapped. I'm not a fan of zero gap, guys. You gotta leave some space there to make sure that blade does not cut the skin. But it does need to be adjusted to where it's a little bit closer, and in fact, it looks like it's even crooked. So that's something that I'm going to have to adjust. It's something I'm going to have to fix. Not crazy about that. But that's it, man. The biggest issue for me is the lever being on, the left side, being a left-handed person. That kind of sucks for me. It doesn't make it a comfortable hold. So again, for the pissed off barber in the future, man, try to make your clippers, ambidextrous. I know you listen to your customers and stuff, and I am a customer. I got quite a few of your products and stuff, which I will be doing reviews for on my channel and stuff. But yeah, just if you could make the levers ambidextrous moving forward, so left-handed barbers like myself can, put the lever on the other side, make it a little bit more comfortable for us, then that would be really great, man. But yeah, man, overall, it seems like a pretty solid clipper. Believe me, guys, if it, I know I haven't used it yet, but if I really felt like it was going to be a trash clipper, I would return it and get my $100 back. I can tell that this is going to be a good quality clipper. It's not my favorite of his, considering the lever issue, as well as, I don't know. The lever issue is the biggest one. I'm not really tripping about how compact it is. I think I'll get used to that, but that lever is a really big issue for a left-handed barber. It's not a comfortable hold. So, but yeah, so I think other left-handed barbers can appreciate this video. I think right-handed barbers are probably not going to understand this video. They probably won't even watch it all the way through, because they're going to be like, well, that's your problem, dude. Don't have that problem. I'm right-handed. Which, hey, that's great for you, man. But for individuals like myself, this is a big issue, but again, I want to support TPOB, so I'm going to keep the clipper. I will not be returning it, and I'll give it a couple of tries, see how I like it, and I'll probably come back with another review letting you guys know how it cuts, and if I've had any issues with it moving forward as far as the lever goes. But again, this is the left-handed barber. I hope you like this video. I hope this video was informative, especially for someone who is left-handed. Look, man, if you watch this video and it helps you in a sense of determining that you don't want to get the play, you don't want to spend the $100 on it, because you're left-handed and you don't want to deal with that lever problem, I understand that. But the Pissed Off Barber is a really good brand. So if you don't get the play, I would recommend getting any of his slimes. Okay, the Slime 2, whether it's the green one or the black and green one. I have the black and green one, which is I love that one, man. That's like my favorite clipper. The candy is a really good clipper as well. And if you want one that has some real power to it, bro, that'll just knock that bulk out, get the Yeti. The Yeti has a great lever for left-handed people, and it's very powerful as well. Again, I'm not crazy about the charging base for the Yeti. I feel like that should be updated as well. But the Yeti is another great one. So definitely fuck with the Pissed Off Barber, bro, because he's got some good stuff. Yeah, but I hope you guys like this. Hit like if you do. Hit subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.